One Piece. This is One Piece chapter 1167. Ida's Sons or Ida's Sons. I don't know how to pronounce which one she would prefer. Ida's Sons. We did not get to cover One Piece last week, so a lot of things happened. Basically, the God Valley conflict closed out. Rocks was finished off by the Holy Knights. Roger and Garp, of course, got away. Dragon was he quit the military and went off on his own. Garp remained to watch over the younger soldiers, I suppose. And we finally get some more perspective from Harold himself as he comes back into the story to plead with the five elders to allow him to work for the world government until they are satisfied enough to allow Elbaf to join. It's actually the point where he rips off his ancient giant horns in order to prove his loyalty. So yeah, not great. Not a great look for Harold, but we'll proceed onward.
No, not at all. That's your man's or
my man's?
Am I mistaken?
I've never claimed Harold. What are you talking about?
No, my fault. My bad. I was mistaken. My fault. That's not your. That's not Brian's man's, is it?
No, it's not my man's. Christian has proof. I was shit talking him last week.
Yeah, Brian got lost in cyberspace again. And
right. Okay, no. I'm just making sure.
Yeah. But anyway, we are now cutting back to the flashback. We are now 5 years after God Valley, which would be 33 years prior to the main story starting. So, yeah, we're just getting word from, various people. We see Big News Morgan once again. He's out here, just asking people about stuff. And a lot of people are talking about these giant figures that are appearing outside of the Florian Triangle. Not even that. It's like, because someone asks, did this event take place in the Florian Triangle? And he says, not even close. So, no, these are not the same giant figures from the Florian Triangle.
But it's a thing. It was mentioned.
It is a thing.
It was mentioned.
Well, the Florian Triangle was always a thing.
It's a thing.
It was always a thing, yeah.
And the monsters in it.
Yeah. You know what's funny? I actually finished Thriller Bark. I've just been casually.
Monsters there too, and it matters.
Yeah, it does. I remember because I watched. I just finished the Thriller Bark arc. I'm casually watching the One Piece anime here and there, and at the end, I remember. Yeah, they have the giants, whatever giant creatures are out there, that the Straw Hats just missed by a hair as they were leaving Thriller Bark. So. Yeah.
Yes. Yo.
So honestly,
because fate is on their side. That's why.
Yeah. So we should note this because Oda is bringing this back and reminding us. Say again, Josh.
Did it send a Shiver?
No, but I was like, oh, there they are. Those are the guys Josh was talking about. But I do think it's important that Oda is bringing them up now. He wants us to remember those things in the Florian Triangle. So, keep in mind. My thought now is that they're my theory about it, now that they've brought it up again, is that the creatures in the Florian Triangle are the Galela giants that they didn't capture. Maybe there's some stragglers that got away, and maybe they're there.
Yo, imagine.
That's the only thing that makes sense to me. But, anyway, so yeah, we're getting more info, and we find out that Harold this entire time was the monster that have been plaguing these ships, because he had entered into agreement with the world government that would target pirate ships from the deeper mists out at sea, as part of a sworn oath of 1,000-year atonement. Harold assisted Navy's efforts to uphold order. So, yeah, he's just out here, you know, destroying pirate ships left and right out of nowhere. It's not great. Meanwhile, the four emperors gradually started to, the pirates that we know to become the four emperors later would be scattered to the winds and would grow in power over the next decade or two until they reached their primes and became the faces of their era. Obviously, Kaido, Whitebeard, and Big Mom. Meanwhile, we see, I keep forgetting this guy's name. He's important. The guy who would eventually take over Pirate Island and that Blackbeard would kill in order to get the power.
I'll look it up.
This guy.
He looks like Caribou.
He does look like
There's got to be
Caribou.
a connection there.
What if? Oh, that's a good catch, Josh. He does look like Caribou. What if he's Caribou's dad?
Like that's probably how he got
His name is Ochoku.
pirate crew and all of that.
What's
to
his name,
begin
Brian?
with.
Ochoku.
Ochoku. I don't remember that
Yeah.
being his name. Really?
Yeah, I think so.
One Piece Ochoku. Oh, that's Caribou. Ochoku Caribou. Wait, hold on.
No, it is Ochoku.
Wang Shi is his name, but in Japanese it's like spelled Ochoku. But the guy's name is Wang Shi.
In Caribou's name is also Ochoku.
No,
Oh,
but
I was about to say, dude, how could
I
we
mean, if
not
that's
have
the
noticed
case,
that?
yeah, but essentially they're the same thing. Ochoku and Wang Shi are the same thing. That's just the Romanized
I mean, they
name.
wouldn't be the first people with long faces and a squiggly tongue, but it's just the fact that, like, you know, like how
It's
fate
just the
works in this
greasy look.
series and
It's just the greasy look on
Yeah,
these guys.
he wants because Caribou wants to go assist Blackbeard, but why would he want to go to him with all of that information in particular, right? Maybe because he knows it'll get, you know, Blackbeard like to trust him or whatever, and then maybe he'll be able to backstab Blackbeard,
Maybe.
you know,
Yeah.
kind of like that.
Yeah, I think that's exactly it. I think they were gonna kill Caribou, but he was like, I know something that you guys might want to know. Don't kill me.
I don't think they knew who he was though,
They did not know who he
because
was.
he had to introduce himself.
Yeah, they didn't know who he was.
Oh, speaking of, never mind. I should have said that in my thoughts earlier, but
Well, what is
all I'll say is this: Catalina, she when she pulled up with Augur just to touch like the spider, and right, like we already know that, right?
Yes.
But they did it so casually, like, and the elder didn't even really like care or think about it that much. I don't think he knows that she has that. Like,
Yeah, I think it's possible that he just doesn't know what that was about. And also, he has bigger fish to fry. He's literally fighting
definitely
the sun god over there. But anyway, so yeah, Wang Shi and Shiki were just focused around claiming territory. And while they were all doing that, Roger and the Roger Pirates managed to circumvent the world and you know, find the One Piece. And it's very notable that we see Shanks here. Shanks and Buggy front and center. It's very noticeable that Shanks is here given what happens later. So
yeah.
after the allure of his we see the allure of his massive fortune, the One Piece sent the world into a frenzy madness. The Marines recruited over a dozen giants from various regions to help bolster their ranks. And meanwhile, Harold, who had been faithfully serving as a tool of the Navy, was officially given access to the Holy Land this year. And the reason they did that is that he entered into a Shallows covenant. So there are levels to, you know, your loyalties that you can pledge to the world government at this time. And right now at this moment, Harold is at the lower end of that. So there's 3 covenant stages. He is in the Shallows covenant. It is a mere trace of a bond. But there are 2 higher ones that are Depths Covenant and Abyssal Covenant that are only reserved for 13 exclusive individuals. So pretty much the Holy Knights, I imagine. Like, you don't get to be a Holy Knight without passing the Shallows Covenant. And only then can you enter a contract with the true God. Emu, I guess, is what they're talking about. And Harold is like, what is this God you speak of? And Nostro says that if the day should come that you are made a proper knight, then you will know the truth in the depths of the world. And he's like, oh, and is that when Elbaf will be allowed to join the government? And they're like, yes, Harold.
You fucking thirst bucket, yes.
Indeed.
Yes.
Sure, whatever.
Whatever, dude.
You'll be slaves by then. I mean, yeah, sure.
Yeah, and Harold is like, I'm grateful for this honor. I'll do anything you ask of me. We get to see an older Saint Garling. He has like a whole beard now. And he's like, what is the Great One thinking? He's like, can the King of Elbaf actually take orders? And, Harold is like, of course, your word is my command. And he's like, we will call if we need you. Keep a long distance transponder on your person. You are free to visit the lower world, but you will not speak a word of what goes on here. So, don't fucking tell anybody anything about what goes on up here. We then see that years later, Harold would visit Neptune. And this is important because this started percolating a theory in my head that I'll talk about later. So these guys are friends. These guys are actually close friends. And they're actually laughing and they're talking together. And, Neptune suggests that they betroth Shirahoshi to Loki. And Harold just laughs it off. Actually, this is the first time I've seen Harold laugh. I remember his laugh goes baraha.
That was the important thing.
Yeah, we have to get all the laughs out. And he's like, no, forget about it. He's like, I'm not talking about any. Come on, buddy. I'm not talking about any ordinary mermaid. She's supposed to be born with some disruptive powers. And Harold is like, well, in that case, it sounds like a match made in heaven. Let's toast to the future of my little brat and your shaggy daughter. And he's like, stop calling my daughter Shaggy. Why would you go that? The same year he returns to Elbaf and he finds Saul. At this point, it seems that Saul has gone through that whole ordeal with Ohara. He's back on Elbaf, and this is when Harold asks him to establish a school in Elbaf. And he's like, a school? Sounds nice. So now we know why how the school came to be. We then cut to 15 years ago, where we see Fisher Tiger escaping. We know that story. Fisher Tiger managed to escape captivity. And not only, but turns out there's even more to the story than we thought, as he seems to have come across a very Shanks-like figure. He thinks he's an enemy, but they cut the shackles free. And, that necklace thing, that neck brace that I think explodes, Shanks manages to cut it off. If this is Shanks, it's made purposefully ambiguous in more ways than one. But yeah, so, we get to see like the whole deal happen with the escaped slaves, including, of course, Hancock and her sisters and Koala as well. We see that Harold has returned once again, and it's like, it sounds like it was quite the night. And they think that someone from the inside is the one who opened up the armory to them, and they're looking for the rat right now. And it's at this point we get to see that Shanks has returned to the Holy Land at some point in his life. So this is well after Roger was executed, and sometime after he received the scar over his eye, Shanks went back to the Holy Land in Marijois. And, he explains that Shanks was separated at birth, and that he's entered into a depths covenant. So Shanks is in the level 2 covenant at this point in time. So he is basically a holy knight at this point. Oh no, he's not. He's a devoted blade of God. So I guess that's the tier, because I think Gunko isn't a holy knight. She's a devoted blade of God. So yeah, so he's a devoted blade of God, just like Harold. And Shanks is like, I don't know you, you great lumbering peon. How dare you speak to me as if we're equals? I've always had the blood of a Figureland in my veins. Mark my words, I'll be a knight before you. And Harold was like, okay, my bad. Lots of interesting things. So, we then get, a proper introduction. Saint Shanks, devoted blade of God, and he's like, let's go, Shamrock. Tell me more about the Holy Land. I want to be the hero who captures the one responsible for the attack. And Shamrock is like, bro, chill. There's still time to do this once your wound is healed. And Shanks is like, you don't know how it feels to learn that you've wasted 24 years of your life. I always knew I was different from the others. I hated everything down there. And Harold is looking at him like, I smell Cap. I don't know. This whole situation. You got major.
Like you're performing.
Yeah, you got major better.
Performative male.
Yeah, you got better person than me vibes going on here. I don't know about that.
I heard Shanks is rocking the quarter zip under the jacket.
Is he?
You just can't tell because the scarf is there. It's a quarter zip, yeah.
Shamrock is rocking a quarter zip, no? Isn't that it?
He's a highly performative man.
We then cut back to the fisherman village in Elbaf, and we see that Ida is now sick, and nobody knows why. Everybody's like, "Oh my God, what's going on?" You know what Harold does each time he comes on? He visits all the elders, and he asks them to make Ida his true wife, which is like, "Aw, that's sweet of him." And she's like, "That fool, I prefer running that little bar. It makes me feel," he's like, "it makes me feel like I've been helping Harold out in my own little way." And that's when Loki pulls up with a whole giant ox thing. He's like, "I got her some fresh meat to feed her. The bar's a nice chill place for me to hang out. I need it open again." And we see that Hadradin has already set off to sea with the new giant pirates to search for a doctor for her, while Loki stayed at home and is pretty much taking care of her in his very brash way. And Ida's like, "Oh, they're all making a big deal out of nothing. I'm fine, but it's really sweet of them, though. It is very sweet of them. The boys," We then cut to, I guess, a little bit later. Loki is talking to some of the townsfolk, and they're like, "We don't want that outsider woman becoming the queen. Estrid is the true queen. She's from our people. They can't take away our fortune and status. So we gave that wench a little poison, see? These ergot spores won't stop once they've taken root. It's certain death." Bro. And Loki does not react well to this. He started beating the shit out of this guy and burning down the entire village. And bro is like, "Loki, stop." He's like, "Ah." Chill. You got it. You got it. And Loki explains, like, "Ida ain't gonna die, is she? I remember what my real mother did. She cast me out of the tree into the underworld. You want fortune? You people make me sick. Ida ain't gonna die, is she? Because she's the only mother I have." And that's where the chapter ends. Wow, that was interesting. Josh, what did you think about One Piece chapter 1167?
I think this was a loaded fucking chapter,
right?
Man. A lot happened. I'm gonna say it's my RGC.
Ooh. What about you, Brian?
Yeah.
RGC, yeah.
All right. It's not mine. Surprise,
What?
surprise.
That's fair.
But
There's a lot of there's some good ones.
RG.
oh yeah,
Certified RGC.
Certified RGC. Certified RGC.
go on, Josh.
What do I want to talk about? I hate King Harold. I hate him.
Yeah,
I despise his character and what he's trying to represent. I'm gonna do the homework first, though, which is I understand where he's coming from. You know, he feels as a king responsible for what his people have done, you know, over the years and such. But of course, it just sounds so ignorant compared to the destruction the world government causes. You know, I mean, Elbath and his people seem to be just fine. I feel like I don't remember there being like a issue with their sustainability. He just wants them to be accepted with the rest of the world, which is cool, but he's putting his people in a vulnerable position. He's putting himself in a vulnerable position, which is putting his people in a vulnerable position.
yeah,
So I don't care for this, and I I definitely want to save like my judgment of like the narrative or whatever until like the end of the arc, because I know Oda ultimately has a point to make when he has these type of characters similar to like Garp as well. You know, they're not supposed to be, at least from my perspective, like these people you 100% respect and agree with because you feel like they mean really well. And that's just how that, and that's the reality of life. You know, people are complicated and complex and have different values and understandings of like how people, like people may have similar values, but they come to their values in different ways. Anyway, whatever. Sticking specifically to this chapter, I'm really curious about what you had to say with Loki and Shirahoshi.
yeah.
I didn't think about that. They're not of similar age though, right? I mean, Loki's way older.
Yeah, Loki's got to be way
than,
older at this point. He's already,
right?
yeah, Loki's well into like, his adulthood as a giant, I guess. He's been alive for like 60 years at this point. And Shirahoshi is like 16 at the main time of the story.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And he can't get with that girl, with Big Mom's daughter.
Yeah, Lola would be,
because she's with Gotti.
no, Lola is single. She ran away.
Isn't she dead?
No,
Isn't
she's
Lola
with Gotti now.
No, she is with Guy. I
She's
forgot
with
about
the
the
Fire Tank
yeah.
pirate.
The I just remembered the
The
cover
cover
page.
stories.
Yeah.
Mhm.
She is with Gotti.
So that's clip.
Yeah, it's over.
They got married and everything.
I just want to know what that was about. I can't wait till like he meets her. What was that about? But anyway, what were those? Are your thoughts?
She's part of Luffy's harem.
Oh God,
You know it, Chris.
no. Were those your thoughts, Josh?
I guess. I want to hear what y'all thoughts are.
Brian, what did you think?
This is a pretty fucking sick chapter. Honestly, I kind of dig Garling, even though I fucking hate Garling. I kind of like this style for him, like with the fucking crescent moon, the goatee, the beard or whatever. I think it's cool. It's a cool look for him.
Yeah,
He looks very odd currently. Like he kind of fell into that thing where like the top half of his body is like very fucking large thing that some characters fall into somehow. Like Garp
Yeah.
has a giant fucking like upper half.
yeah. It's a barrel chest but stick legs.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what he became. Cause I kind of like this look.
Nah,
for
but
him.
his
I wish.
leg.
Sorry, what were you saying?
You're talking about Fingerling?
Yeah, Garling.
The Shanks' dad.
I mean, I think he has really long legs, right? He's a long.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's a big guy.
He looks all right
Not
here,
like the
but
tribe.
like his older version is like he has like fucking like Christian said, barrel chest, skinny legs. It's not. It doesn't
Really?
look very.
I gotta go look.
Yeah, it looks a little weird, but I like this look from him. He looks a little grumpy too. But I really like that it brought us back to Fisher Tiger because when you really think about it, Fisher Tiger's escape brought up a lot of questions because he was not like necessarily the strongest guy of all time, right? For him to get in there and raise hell the way that he did, he had to have some kind of intervention to help him get started because against all the fucking gods knights and shit and him getting in there and freeing all the slaves, that I fuck with Fisher Tiger heavy, but it was like the dude, I don't think he even knows hockey. Like how the fuck did he do it? And it looks like he got some help from Shanks, it seems. But there's a lot of
karate.
There's so many theories coming up now because of this chapter. Like I don't even know where to begin on that. But I have a theory of my own that I haven't seen anywhere. Not a single soul.
Oh yeah,
Chris.
you mentioned this. You teased this.
Chris, do you remember when the first time Blackbeard was mentioned?
Drum Kingdom.
Interesting, huh?
Yes.
Very interesting.
Yes.
Kureha is Blackbeard's mom.
Oh my god.
Kureha is Blackbeard's mom.
We know who Blackbeard's mom is.
Yeah, we do, don't we?
100%.
She's the first person to mention the Will of D, by the way.
Hold on. Are you
She's the
saying
first person to mention it?
Wait. Are you saying that Erisa, that's her name, right? Erisa.
Yep.
You're saying that she's Kureha.
Yep. That's what I'm saying.
But she would have to be 140 years old.
She's old. She's an old character. She's literally one of the oldest humans in the series.
But we don't know that about Erisa, whatever her name is.
Yeah, we don't. Listen, Kureha has been around for a while. She's the first person to say Gold D. Roger, and it's the first arc that Blackbeard is mentioned. Why would Blackbeard randomly pull up to Drum Island?
Well, he's been traveling.
That's a good point.
He's been traveling.
He's been traveling, yeah, sure. But to just randomly pop up at
Eris
Drum Island, he
name.
doesn't do shit. He doesn't do shit without... We know this about him. He does everything calculated to the T. And you're telling me he's just going to randomly pull up to Drum Island the first time we hear about him? I'm telling you, man.
I don't know.
I'm about to instigate.
I don't know about that one.
Instigate.
I don't know about that one. I'm sorry, Brian. I don't know if I agree
get
with
on
this
board
one.
or get out.
How confident are you, Brian?
I'm so confident. I'm willing to put a fucking...
Scale of 1 to Ron Burgundy.
I'm putting a Ron Burgundy on this shit. I'm calling this shit from a million miles away.
No, wait.
A million miles away.
I want you to understand something. If you lose, you're not just losing, you're giving Chris another win.
Well, I haven't won yet. I'm still locked into 2 Ron Burgundy bets that one can go truly sideways for me.
What's the other one aside from ours?
Brian bet that Eneru is going to show up in Elbath.
Oh my god! I can't believe I bet that. I cannot believe I bet that. What the fuck is wrong with me?
This is what you do when you don't when you don't keep your emotions in check. And
Why the fuck fuck did I bet that?
You got
There's
addicted
no
to
way
gambling.
he's showing up this arc.
Yeah, you were very adamant and you bet me. You bet me a wrong burgundy bet. I don't know why
You know
did
what
that.
it was? It's because lightning was like the biggest weakness to Elbaf.
Yeah, you heard that and you were like, Enru?
Oh, yo, you lost your mind. Oh
No,
my
but this
god,
time,
you're right.
but this time with Kureha,
That's a crazy
I'm so
one. You know
confident.
what?
No, it's not. It's not crazy. And you know why? You know why it has so much credence? People who turn old in One Piece always look completely different from how they look like when they're young. Always. Especially women.
Well, I don't.
You don't. Oh yeah, you look at Gloriosa, buddy. You look at Gloriosa and try to look like that's the same person.
No, that's not the. But you know, as far as the older women of One Piece go, Kureha aged fine. She's not like a tiny little, like hag lady, granny. You know, she's like a gilf, I guess. That's what she's the closest thing to a gilf in this series. I don't see it. I'm sorry, Brian. I don't
I'm
see
telling
it.
you. Listen, all the clues are there. The clues have been enough.
She's 141 years old.
Perfect time frame.
60 years ago, say 60 years ago. When was this? No, there's no
Is
way.
it?
She would have to be 100 when
80,
when
she'd be 80 years
Teach was
old
born.
60 years ago.
How old is Blackbeard? Blackbeard is. No, I don't see it, Brian. I think I'm giving you one last chance to back out.
Like I didn't think about the age part. I thought it lined up.
Blackbeard is
didn't
40
look it
years
up.
old, so that means Eris would have to be 101 years old by the time Teach was born.
You don't know that shit.
She'd be 106 years old at the time of God Valley.
What? She doesn't look 100. She doesn't look 100 in this chapter. I mean, in the previous chapter.
I don't know if you've looked at her, Brian. No. That means she aged dramatically within the time that like she leaves God Valley and now.
She ran out of chakra. Okay, that's what happened.
And she's young looking for 141 years old. I don't think you thought this through, Brian.
Watch if it's
You
her.
know what? Okay. You know why he was there on Drum Island? Because Ace was also on Drum Island.
But he wasn't after Ace.
He was after
was?
Ace.
No, Ace came after Blackbeard passed through there.
Oh, okay. But still,
Because
I-
Ace was after Blackbeard,
Well,
remember?
Blackbeard was traveling. Not every place Blackbeard stops has to be this calculated move.
But the first time we ever hear of him, though,
Straw Hat to Alabaster,
he does, yeah.
right?
Yeah. I don't and it apparently had been some time since he'd been there. So, I don't know. I don't buy it. I don't think so. Eris would have to be 101 years old at the time of God Valley. At the
Why
very
the fuck
minimum.
she's so old? God damn.
Yeah, there's no way.
Kureha wasn't on like the Pirate King's.
She was
crew or
never a
nothing like
pirate as
that?
far as we know.
She's just a good ass doctor.
Yeah, she was just a doctor.
Who knows his
What did
real
she do when
name?
she was younger?
Well, Kureha's old as shit. She's probably met Roger.
Does she know the whale lover
No,
Crocus?
no. Well, maybe. If she knows Roger, she might know Crocus. But also, Crocus
He's seen
came.
the One Piece, right?
Crocus actually came later in the journey. He wasn't like part of the crew to start. They got him when they were aiming
No, I
for
know.
the One Piece. So like, that would have been later in life. So it's possible they never met.
He was there. He's seen it, right?
Yeah, Crocus knows what the One Piece is. Crocus knows everything. They met the one guy. They met the one guy who knows everything immediately entering the Grand Line.
Wow.
What if she hit the age fruit?
She didn't. She would say,
What if she just ate the age fruit and became old?
"Well,
You
no,
ever think about
because
that?
No, because that's Bonnie's fruit.
Right.
The old fruit. How about that?
Okay. Well, you got me there. You got me there, I guess, Brian.
Like her body is
citizen fruit.
yeah, her body
Senior
is
citizen,
141 years old, but her mind is like 68.
Yeah, I don't know, Brian. You know, you're lucky. You're lucky I didn't just take you up on the bet, Brian. You're lucky I'm a man of honor. That would have been two absurd wrong Burgundy bets you've been involved in, and we'd have to like cut you off. You'd have to be like, no more wrong Burgundy bets for you for a while.
All right, that's all for me.
Yeah, this chapter was sick. I agree with you guys. I agree with you guys. This chapter was sick. A lot of very cool things. So, I've heard a lot of people talk about the Shanks situation and say that Shamrock is actually Shanks and Shanks is Shamrock. And I don't know. I feel like that's a red herring. Shanks is very clearly himself, you know? I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's like. I don't think Oda's
acting.
I don't think Oda's really trying to play a trick on us that hard with Shanks. You know, it's very clear that he's here.
Plus, he has the scar on his eye.
Yeah, it would make sense.
Clearly, yeah.
And every instance we've seen of Shanks, he has been like so, you know, reverent and very much Roger-like, and you know, even now he uses Roger's technique. You know, so I don't think he's, and I think Harold noticing something is very much like Harold being like, I know something's fishy here. If Harold snitches on Shanks, I can't believe you can't want it this bad, bro. You know?
Yeah, like the longer this backstory goes with Harold, the more I'm feeling that Loki was very valid on crashing out on his dad.
Yeah. There's a lot of interesting things here. First of all, also, I pointed out that panel where Shanks and Roger and them are celebrating the One Piece. Shanks looks pretty fucking happy there, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, I don't know about that. So, a couple things I wanted to say. First off, the world building is continuing to be very, very cool. I'm excited to continue this flashback. I'm surprised it lasts this long. I guess we're in the closing stages of it. There are a couple of concepts. A lot of the things that I'm seeing in One Piece now is just like trying to fit like these like political concepts, you know, into these characters, you know, like who Garp is, who like what they represent in this struggle between authoritarian government and the people and the military and so on and so forth. You know, you have like kind of a conscientious objector in Garp where he is very much like against whatever the government is saying and doing and all that stuff, but he is not like an active participant. He's not like an active fighter against the resistance, and is more like trying to protect who he can control. He's staying in his position of power to protect the people who don't know what's going on from themselves, which is, you know, the rank and file, the soldiers that, you know. But unfortunately for Garp, what he doesn't understand is that like he in turn has been made as the head propaganda piece for the world government, and it's kind of like a weird exchange there where he maintains his power and he gets to kind of work with like kind of a lot of leniency in exchange for just kind of being this figurehead, the symbol for the world government's might and power. So, you know, it's not a great position to have, you know, Garp. But I think he's a very fascinating character in that regard. We have Dragon, who is obviously the active revolutionary, the man who just like, he couldn't sit idly by. He has to act. The kind of the opposite of Garp in a lot of ways. I've seen people get, I'm weirdly talking about last chapter, but I feel like I had these thoughts in my head for a long time, ever since last chapter, in terms of like these allegories that Oda has created within this world and in this flashback. And a lot of people had a problem with like, oh, that's it. That's the discussion they had, you know, like because the discussion between their last talk was fairly short, you know, like Dragon is like, I fucking hate this and I'm leaving the Marines, and Garp is just like, okay, which makes sense. It makes sense for the Monkey family. They're very straightforward people. Like even Luffy is kind of
what more is there to say?
Yeah, Garp understands.
If anything, I'd be more disappointed. Yeah.
In a sense, it's
what more would this Dragon need to say to his fucking father that says he's gonna stay a Marine?
Yeah.
You know how I feel. You seen the same shit I seen. You still gonna do what you're gonna do? Bet. Yeah, well, just know what I'm doing. And I see you out there, or probably not, because fuck out of here, nigga. I'm getting low.
Yeah. In a way,
I feel like there's nothing more to say.
Yeah. In a way, it's in a way, it's kind of a credit to Garp that he's like, I get it. And I think he even breaks him out of jail. He gives him the key to leave. You know, so, yeah, I think Garp is kind of a tragic figure in that sense, where the reason that he wanted Ace and Luffy to join the Marines is because if they're in the Marines, he can truly protect them and he can like make sure no harm comes to them. But he feels himself that if he's not in the Marines, he does not have that same reach. He doesn't have like that same access. He doesn't have that power to keep the ones closest to him from harm. That's what he means when he says he's going to stay for the rank and file. He's like, I'm staying in here because I am able to protect people from within, as opposed to being a revolutionary where he doesn't think that he can do much good, probably. So
I mean, there's also like there's probably an aspect to Garp's backstory that we haven't seen yet.
Oh yeah,
and
for sure.
We forget pirates are also actually sometimes a problem. Like Luffy, like the Straw Hats are a rarity. Like the Straw Hats, the Heart Pirates, like these are rare occasions where pirates are not actually the biggest piece of shits in the world.
For sure.
Right?
I think you're right. I think like Garp definitely sees some value in the Marines and what they do and their like their role as, you know, peacekeepers in a sense, or like an authority figure to prevent like, you know, crimes and stuff. I'm sure there's that aspect. I think he deeply like in his heart of hearts sees the Marines as kind of a good thing, but he is also aware that it's not being used right. It's corrupted right now. So, you know, I don't know. It's very
that's probably why he's so into like sword and shit.
Yeah, for sure. That's probably why he created Sword, for sure. And he's very involved in the younger Marines education. He teaches them constantly and all that, but you know, it's varying levels of, you know, it. And then we have Dragon, of course, the revolutionary. He's off doing his thing. You know, he's successful at it too. He's very good at this. He managed to amass an entire army, and they're very successful. They managed to topple 8 governments in very recently. So there's that. And I wonder about Harold and his role. And like I've heard of this concept, you know, that sounded familiar. And it's the idea of the model minority. And I think like that's what Harold sees, and he's like policing his own people's behavior so that they would be more respectable to, you know, the powers that be. It's like a myth. It's like I just pulled up a definition. The idea is that the concept is widely considered harmful and misleading stereotype, often referred to as the model minority myth. The label aggregates data for a vast array of diverse ethnic groups, ignoring significant variations of income, blah, blah, blah. I'm trying to find like the exact thing. In sum, the term is problematic social construct that simplifies complex realities and has significant negative consequences for both the AAPI community and the broader landscape of race relations in the U.S. So it's just like, you know, Harold is like very much trying to police people and make sure, like trying to civilize his own people. In a sense, he sees his own people as like, and he's trying to turn his people into the model minority when he's desperately trying to appease these people that could not think less of him. Like,
Yes, right. Ultimately, yeah.
and he's very naive in the sense that he thinks it's working. And I think the Giants in general are naive in this situation because they've been so isolated for all this time. So, but yeah, Harold is extraordinarily naive and he's just trying to clean up the act.
Coaching this in good faith,
Yeah. Yeah.
which makes King Harold a tragic character too. Similar, in a similar sense to Garp, where they're kind of misled. I actually have some things to say about Garp too, but I'll let you finish your thoughts.
Yeah. So I think that's what the mold of Harold is just someone who is, trying to police his own culture and police his own people so that they could appeal to, higher powers and, so they can, it's kind of respectability politics in a sense as well. And that's what I'm trying to read from Harold a little bit. And it comes from a good place because I think at
I
the
don't
end.
think there's.
Oh, sorry. What were we gonna say?
No, my bad. I was cutting you off. The lag is just rough.
No,
Go
you're
ahead.
good. No, I mean, it comes from a good place. I think Harold desperately wants good for his people, and I think the reason he wants to join the world government is not necessarily that they're doing poorly, but he just. I think Ida really changed his perspective in such a dramatic way that it may have pushed him a little too far into being, accommodating for these fucking psychos in the world government, But yeah, Josh, what were you gonna say?
So I'm not sure this really applies to Harold's situation, but specifically with Garp, there's a quote that comes to my mind when I think about his outlook on the world and what informs the decisions he makes. And there's a book by an author named Mark Fisher, and he made a book called Capitalist Realism. But there's a quote in the book where Mark says, it's easier for people to imagine the end of the world before they can imagine a world without capitalism. As far as the population of people who are under capitalist, imperialist, first world countries, like America. And the reason why that comes to mind with Garp is because I agree. I think that was really well put what you said about Garp being a tragic character. And I would take it further by saying that, the real tragedy of Garp, in my opinion, is that he lacked the broader imagination for a different kind of world, right?
Vision.
You could say, I'm trying to find the words, but Dragon, when he decided to break away from the government and do what he did, lead a revolutionary army, I don't know if he had in mind what type of governmental systems he would personally want to implement. He just knew he needed to stop, he needed to take control out of the world government's hands because of the atrocity of the people who run it. Garp, he has to have this perspective that regardless of how bad the government is, this is the best we have. This is the best version of the way things can be, and I'm gonna just do the best I can to protect the people I care about, which the rank and file, and then his own family, like you said, but trying to get Ace and Luffy to be Marines and all of that. But it is a tragedy because that it's like he let fear hold him back from making this, I think, different decisions. I think him creating Sword and also inspiring other Marines definitely holds weight and helps in the grand scheme of things. But I can't help but think that a character like him could and should have done a lot more, in the background. Because pirates are evil. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, not every crew is like Luffy and all of that. But at the end of the day, pirates are just a symptom of the overall like issue, which is, most of the time these pirates are coming from places that are like super impoverished. I think that's a leap that we could take based on the condition a lot of these other like islands are in. If they're not part of like a lush kingdom or something. Anyway, I don't want to go on and on. That's just something I thought about with Garp.
Yeah. Yeah. This is really interesting. You can't say that One Piece isn't political, man. This is like very much allegorical.
It
to this
sure
world.
is.
And it's very complex too, It's just like it's a lot of perspectives that feel real, that a lot of like there's Garps in the world for sure. There's heralds in the world, and there's certainly celestial dragons in the world. So, One Piece is the GOAT. I don't know, man. What can you say? It's so good. I'm excited to see what happens next, because now we're like away from the external world stuff, and we're now focusing back into Elbaf. And yeah, I'm very curious as to see how this continues onward, and the result of Loki destroying an entire village on his own land, and the consequences of that. I'm very excited to see what's up there. Those are all my
The
thoughts.
motivations behind why Shanks returned to Marishwa.
Oh yeah,
Even after sailing with Roger and all of that.
Yeah, Shanks is.
It couldn't have been just the free slaves.
Yeah, Shanks is one of those guys that's just like
Right?
the more.
Surely it couldn't have.
It's like the more we see of Shanks, the less I know.
Yeah, he keeps raising more questions.
I'm just like, what the
Every
hell are
time.
you doing now, Shanks? You're always doing something weird. I don't get it.
He's doing something back there.
Yeah, what are you doing,
He's
bro?
doing something.
So good. I don't know, man. But yeah, those are all my thoughts. Do you guys have any rebuttals or anything that you want to add before we go?
No, sir.
No, King Harold's a dumbass.
Yeah, King Harold's a
And my
dumbass.
empathy for his death is lessening by the chapter.
Hell yeah.